this. A staggering 71% of Earth's surface is completely covered by water. When we're just walking around on solid ground, going about our day, it is remarkably easy to forget that dry land is actually the exception on this planet, not the rule. Seriously, when you visually compare that vast 71% ocean to our mere 29% of land, it becomes instantly clear why astronauts looking down from space famously call ours the blue planet. We literally live on a water world that just happens to be beautifully accented with patches of lands. Now, let's zoom in on that 29% of land. It's divided into 7 distinct regions. By definition, a continent is simply a massive, continuous stretch of land. Let's break them down and see what makes each one unique, starting with the absolute largest. Look at the sheer scale and diversity of these 4 massive regions. Asia totally leads the pack as the largest continent on Earth, serving as home to incredibly populous nations like India, China, and Japan. Right behind it is Africa, boasting iconic features like the vast Sahara Desert and the winding Nile River. Crossing the waters over to the Americas, North America includes the USA, Canada, and Mexico, while South America houses the wildly biodiverse Amazon rainforest. Rounding out our 7 continents, we find environments of true extremes. Down south, we've got Antarctica, the coldest continent which is almost entirely covered in a thick layer of permanent ice. Contrast that with Europe, which is super densely populated and packed with a ton of different countries sharing borders. And finally, we reach Australia. What makes Australia so unique is that it holds the title for being both the smallest continent in the world and a single unified country at the very same time. How cool is that? So remember that 71% we talked about earlier? That water is primarily divided into 5 major oceans. The Pacific Ocean is the absolute giant here, holding the record for being both the largest and the deepest ocean on the planet. Then we have the Atlantic Ocean, followed closely by the Indian Ocean, which is, just as the name suggests, notably located right near India. Finally, we have the freezing, harsh waters at the poles, the Southern or Antarctic Ocean at the bottom of the globe, and the Arctic Ocean sitting right at the very top of the world. Now, unlike the massive, continuous stretch of a continent, an island is completely boxed in by water on all sides. A perfect visual for this is Sri Lanka, sitting isolated and entirely surrounded by the warm waters of the Indian Ocean. But, as beautiful as they are, the oceans surrounding these lands aren't always peaceful. The incredible forces of nature mean that underwater earthquakes or violent volcanic eruptions beneath the sea can trigger huge, unbelievably powerful waves. These terrifying, destructive sea waves are known as tsunamis, and when they reach the shore, they can cause immense damage to coastal areas. Because of these immense forces, which, by the way, also include violent cyclone storms, preparedness is absolutely vital. If you are ever in a coastal area during an event like a tsunami, remember 3 critical steps. 1. Heed early warning systems immediately. 2. Move to higher ground as fast as humanly possible. And 3. Always follow the instructions of local authorities. So why do these waters actually matter so much? Well, think of the ocean as Earth's ultimate thermostat. Our oceans actively control the global climate by absorbing heat from the sun and releasing it super slowly. This incredible mechanism is exactly what keeps our global temperatures perfectly balanced so that life can thrive everywhere, not just in the water. And honestly, it gets even more amazing. We always think of forests as the lungs of the Earth, right? But amazingly, tiny marine plants called phytoplankton actually produce a massive share of the oxygen we breathe every single second. Without the microscopic life in the oceans, we quite literally wouldn't have the air we need to survive. Furthermore, the oceans are a massive global food source. They yield fish and seafood that reliably feed millions of people around the world every single day. For countless coastal communities, this isn't just a small part of their diet. It is the absolute foundation of their daily survival and their economy. And it's not just biology and climate. Oceans also serve as the ultimate global highway. Ships carry essential goods, resources, and people across these vast waters, connecting far-flung nations through vital trade and transport routes. A huge portion of our modern global economy relies entirely on our ability to navigate these massive bodies of water. Finally, they are an incredible hub for biodiversity. Oceans provide a complex, multi-layered home to countless species of unique marine plants and animals. From the vibrant, shallow coral reefs to the deepest, darkest trenches, it is a bustling, thriving ecosystem hidden just beneath the waves. Bringing this all together,
If the oceans control our climate, give us the very oxygen we breathe, feed us, and cover 71% of the surface, are we really just Earthlings? Or are we fundamentally citizens of the ocean? Seeing how deeply our survival relies on the waters of this blue planet, it really leaves you wondering, whose world is this anyway?